Hello everyone and welcome to my channel called Demon Storytime. Thank you so much guys for your donations. You are amazing. I highly appreciate that. Thank you so much. I didn't actually expect that much and I don't know the name. So if you leave donation you could give me your name, so I'll call you by your name if you want to. But it was really generous. Thank you so much for your likes, for your comments. All the information about donation you can find down below in comments. Today, guys, we keep reading this lovely book called Grimm's Fairy Tales. And our story is called The Goose Girl and the Well. Once there was a very old woman who lived with her flock of geese in a little hut on a mountain. Everyone said she was a witch. Of course they did. One sunny morning, a handsome young man, Count, was traveling through the forest. He came across the old woman as she was about to haul 2 huge baskets of apples and pears onto her back to carry them home. "Good lady," he said, "you'll never manage that. Let me carry them for you." "Oh, such a gentleman." "Thank you, sir," she said. The young man heaved the baskets onto his shoulders and began to follow her to her house. With every step, the young man's load seemed to get heavier. Let the music move down a bit. Too loud. He hadn't gone far before sweat trickled down his forehead. "Oof," he puffed. "I'll have to rest for a while." But he couldn't put the baskets down. They were stuck to his back. "No rest yet?" the witch cried, and she nimbly leaped on 2 of the baskets, so the young man had to carry her too. What? Very slowly, the young man staggered up the mountain. He reached the old woman's house when he was just about to drop. The old woman sprang lightly off his back and lifted down the baskets as her geese ran to meet her. Behind the geese walked the ugliest girl the Count had ever seen. She was grey-faced, with dull, droopy eyes and blank. Here's the young chap carrying the stuff, and she's sitting on his back as well. What the heck? I bet he feels sorry to help her. "Go inside, daughter, and put the kettle on," the old woman instructed. The ugly girl did as she was told. The Count sank down on a bench by the door, exhausted. Then the old woman said, "Thank you. I have something for you as a reward." She hobbled into the cottage and came back out with a small box. It gleamed and glimmered, for it was cut out of a single emerald. "Take great care of it," she said, "for it will bring you good fortune." How come small boxes bring good fortune? Suddenly the count felt refreshed. He thanked the old woman and set off on his way once more. Unfortunately for the young man, he got lost in the forest. It took him 3 days to find his way off the mountain. Tired and hungry, he made his way to the nearest town and presented himself at the castle there to ask for help. The count was shown into the great hall, where the king and queen were on their thrones. He fell on one knee and offered them the finest thing he had, the emerald box, in return for food and shelter while he recovered from his long journey. The queen was delighted with the gift, but on opening the box she fainted. When the queen came to she began to weep and explained, "I used to have a daughter who was so beautiful that her eyes gleamed like stars, her hair shone like sunbeams, and when she wept, she cried pearls instead of tears. One day, when she was 15, my husband asked her how much she loved him. He expected her to say more than the sun or more than diamonds, but instead she said, food tastes horrible without salt, so I love you more than salt." Well, the king didn't think much of that answer at all. He was so angry that he had her banished from the kingdom. The next day he deeply regretted what he had done, but no one could find her. We haven't seen her since, but just now I opened your emerald box, and inside is a pearl just like the ones my daughter used to cry. Please tell me, where did you get it?" So the count told the queen all about the old woman. Let's make it more down. He said that he hadn't seen or heard anything of the princess, but the queen was determined to go and ask. Next day, the count set off on his horse, tracking his way back up the mountain, while the queen and king followed behind in a carriage. He led them through the forest, higher and higher, until the mountain road became very narrow and steep. Then he continued on horseback, while the king and queen had to leave the carriage and continue on foot. And so the count came to the old woman's hut first. He stopped to catch his breath under a tree before approaching. There were the geese flapping around outside, and there was the old woman's ugly daughter standing at the well. There she is. Well, she don't look ugly towards me. I think she's ugly weirdo. There she is. She can see it. The girl began to wash herself in the water, and to the count's amazement, she peeled off the skin which covered her face and head and laid it on the ground as if it was a mask, and then how different she looked. Her eyes gleamed like the stars, and her golden hair flowed around her like sunbeams. The count thought She was more beautiful than anyone he had ever seen. Yes, finally. He hardly dared to breathe, but stood quite still. And the girl didn't notice him. She carefully picked up her mask and disappeared into the cottage. The stunned count waited for the queen and king, then told them everything. The couple rushed into the cottage at once. There was the witch quietly spinning, and there sitting sewing was the beautiful princess. For a moment the girl thought she was dreaming. Then she sprang up and hugged her parents, who were weeping with joy. Your daughter has a pure heart, yet you threw her out. Idiots. Pardon my language, guys. The old woman scolded. She has lived here with me in this house, so no one has bothered her, and she has been very well looked after. I have kept all the tears that she has cried over you, so now she has a fortune in pearls worth more than your entire kingdom. Oh my god, how much she cried. As my own gift, I give her my cottage, and with that, the old woman disappeared. The walls of the cottage rattled, and a huge cloud of dust flew up. When it cleared, everyone saw they were standing in a splendid place, with servants waiting to do their bidding. There is more to this story, but my grandmother, who told it to me, had forgotten the rest. I shall always believe that the beautiful princess married the count, and that they lived happily in the palace. Whether the geese were magic, I don't know what that word is, were magicked into the princess's maids, I don't know, but I bet they were. And this is certain: the old woman was no wicked witch, as everyone thought, but a wise woman who meant well. In fact, it was probably her who gave the princess the gift of weeping pearls when she was born. If only that sort of thing happened outside of fairy tales. That's it, my dears. See you next time. Take care about yourself. Bye.